Hello, my name is Keith Knuth, and this is a tutorial on business object documents in Infor OS. Infor OS includes a robust system integration platform called ION. Business object documents, or BODs, are the preferred type of interface between business applications. There are several reasons for this, but the first is that BODs use a canonical model standard by the Open Application Group. Next, most Infor applications use BODs to communicate with each other when business events happen. And finally, the kind of pub sub or publish and subscribe model that ION provides with BODs through its message queue is well documented and supported. And it's not just for Infor applications, but can be used between any enterprise system. So what do these documents look like? Well, Infor has published a large set of examples in the repository that you see on the screen. And don't worry, these links will be available in the YouTube video text below this video too, so you can just click on them. If you look at these files, you will see they are in the XML format, which is great because it's such a common format for enterprise integration. And the schemas that control the layout of these documents are also openly published at this URL. Your favorite development tool will be able to import these schemas to make or receive compatible documents. You'll see as you look at these files, the naming convention is a combination of a verb plus a noun. Let's take a look at this. We're in the ION desk, the administrative UI for Infor ION. I've selected the data catalog menu option, and now I'm going to click on object schemas. And this is where all those schemas, those XSD files that we saw previously, are automatically provisioned for you in the system. So if I go into object type BOD and do a search, I can see here that there are many BOD schemas loaded in the system, and they're of type Infor OAGIS. And I can click on one, and it'll show me the layout of that file, and I can expand any one of these to get all the elements and attributes listed, or I can actually go in the raw view and see the XSD view of that schema. But if I go back, I can see that the schemas listed here all are labeled by the noun. That is the what, or what object is included in the message, like a purchase order or an invoice or an employee or a work order. Now when one of these files are sent, the title of the message will also include a verb like sync purchase order, and the verb communicates the action. So what took place in the system to generate this message? For example, the sync verb is the system of record telling other systems, hey, I made a change, synchronize your business object data with me. But a process verb would say systems are asking the system of record, the master, to perform an action on the business object. And a get verb means that systems are asking the system of record for business object data. It's like a query. An acknowledge verb is a response to a process request. So a system asks the system of record to perform an action, and now the system of record is sending an acknowledge response back saying, yes, I accept your request, or I modified it, or I rejected it. And a show verb is simply a response to the get, is meaning you asked for some data and I'm sending it back to you. And finally, a confirm verb is a response back just to ION, indicating a failure in processing the BOD from some system. And this allows the admin to recognize that the message failed and to submit the message after the problem is resolved. This is just a subset of the verbs. These are the most common ones, and I'll show you the documentation you can go into to get all the details on these nouns and these verbs in just a minute. So let's look at the pattern of how these messages flow through ION. So for example, in a sync, a system of record that's the master for some piece of data will send that BOD over to ION, and according to who is subscribed to that particular message, ION will sync that same message off to various applications. But if one of those applications has a problem with the message problem processing, it'll send the confirm BOD back just to ION, and it's up to the ION and the administrator to take care of that issue. In a process message pattern, some system will send a process BOD to ION. ION will forward that on to the system of record for that object. And then that system of record will send an acknowledge message back, and Ion will route that acknowledge back to the originating system who asked for it. But if that system of record can't process that message, then an acknowledge message will be sent back saying it's rejected, and also a confirm BOD will be sent to Ion saying that it couldn't process the message. Now, this is a very high-level view of how BODs are defined and handled inside Infor Ion. For more information, check out the Ion development guide at the link here. You'll want to look in the BODs and messages, verbs and verb patterns, message contents, and Ion connecting considerations sections. They'll give you much more detail on exactly how these messages flow through the system.